All right, guys, what is going on? I want to try to get through all this as fast as possible, but there's going to be a lot of talking and information in this about all the toothpicks that I've played with here and which one I think personally I would recommend. No bias, no affiliate link type of stuff, no shop to sell from or any of that kind of stuff. So there'll probably be a lot of content coming up the next week or two because Chinese New Year's coming, and if you want to make decisions, I want to try to get you guys as much information as fast as possible. So we might be seeing stuff on the daily or every other day. So do all that YouTube stuff, click the bell, all that kind of stuff. Also, drop some comments down there and let me know what you think about all this stuff or what you think about the channel. Some guy told me to cut out the music, so the music's gone. So anyway, let's get to the bench here and take a look at all the stuff that we have going on here. All these toothpick builds. First, my opinion, don't even waste your time with 2.5 inch. I started with the Tiny Hawk Freestyle and it's just no more. I got rid of it. Just didn't have what I needed it. BTX was bad, RX was bad, all that kind of stuff. Ended up putting parts into it, which luckily I pulled out and put into other toothpicks, but just not a good deal. Next is going to be the baby tooth. So the baby tooth is great. Everything works exactly as Bob explained that it would, but it is definitely a novelty type of product. It's going to be great during the summertime when there's less wind and everything like that to play around with. But right now, this time of year on 1S, and it's very super lightweight, it just doesn't have what it takes to have fun when it compares to these guys here. So we'll go ahead and pull it out of the picture. By the way, I did get the Falco X build done last night with the RUNCAM Steel Edition there. Look how monstrous that camera is. I didn't use the internal plates. I never do on my builds, so that's why it's sticking out a little bit. But this quad's going to be great. Probably the last 5-inch quad that I'll be building for a long time, unless something spectacular happens with 5-inch, because let's face it, the 3-inch is where it's at. 4-inch is probably where it's going. Once you get a good couple 5-inch quads that you can do your cinematic or light acro flying with, you're set. And we'll talk more about that in some upcoming videos. So now let's just focus on everything here. So we got the Toothpick 3 unibody and the Toothpick 3 original. I had a Mamba flight controller go out on me, so that's why this is in parts and pieces. And FPV Cycle, Bob and those guys got the stuff out to me like super quick. They are great. Try to be respectful to everybody here that I can, and also just kind of be straightforward. You know, I put a video out a while ago about, hey, I want a toothpick real bad, but I can't buy anything because Bob changes his mind, all this stuff. So I was kind of complimenting him in one way. He didn't take it that way. He left a pretty big rant comment on my channel, but hey, that's fine, whatever. He didn't watch the rest of the video, and I replied to him and said, you know, sorry, man, like, didn't mean any disrespect. You obviously didn't watch the entire video, but he never responded. Anyway, so they're great. Fast shipping, super fast shipping. I mean, great communication. Can't complain about nothing with them at all. Love FPV Cycle. So this stuff is going on to here, and I just printed out a little canopy. I'm going to try that out so I can get the RUNCAM Racer 3 in action there, because there's no more Nano 3s, and I really don't want to buy anymore if I don't have to, because I'm kind of trying to scale it down a little bit here and just kind of stick to a couple. So here's what we're left with now. So we were left with the Beta 115 non-FPV, the regular TP3 build on the unibody frame. This is without the DVR. This is just the nameless, and this is the Flight 1 version of the Diatone 339. Now, right off the bat, just kind of piggybacking off of what I just said, for like 75 to 80% of the people out there, I would probably pull the FPV cycle build out and recommend one of these two to everybody. Reason being, the Beta 115 and this are both bind and fly. You do have, this is plug and fly because you do have to add a receiver. But if you want to go with Falco X, this is the way to go. If you want to go to Betaflight, this is the way to go. If you don't want to build and you don't want to tune or hassle or anything like that. If you want to play around with all that kind of stuff, then definitely go with an FPV cycle build. You'll be happy with that. But my personal opinion still is that the Beta FPV flies better than my Toothpick 3 builds from FPV cycle. I don't know why. Everything weighs like the same. They run basically the same powertrain and everything else like that. There's just something off about there's just something off about it. I don't really know what it is. I've got the PIDs and tune and stuff like great. I mean, it flies fantastic, but I just have more fun and fly better with this. And the Falco X is my favorite one. This Diatone is my favorite Toothpick class type of build. I know that they're on back order already. Preston said that you had to get your orders in before Chinese New Year would start. They would have a hard time getting them. I don't know how long the wait is. I know everybody makes a joke about Flight 1. Everything is 2 weeks. I don't know. But if you can get your hands on one, I mean, I think it's just the way to go. I'll be doing like a full review on it as well. We can go ahead and just play some flight footage here. I posted this footage on a few different Facebook groups, and I did a back-to-back videos, flights and stuff. I haven't really done the video. I put my beta flight video up there that kind of shows all the different flight tuning maneuvers I was going through, like throttle pumps, rolls, pitches, power loops, yaw spins, just everything else. And time after time after time, the Falco X just performed better. The only thing that the Falco X Diatone build did not perform better in was time. And that could be because of the JESC firmware that is not on here and is on the rest of these, or it could just be because I was pushing it harder and the motors themselves aren't as efficient, the 1105 versus the 1204s. But we're talking like a 6-minute flight on like a 520, 450 on the TP3 Betaflight build versus about a 4.5 to 445 on the Falco X Diatone build. But the thing is just incredible. It would be my number one to recommend to buy like right now. I'm sure Diatone is going to modify theirs a little bit, and they're going to get rid of the stack and go with the all-in-one, and then try to, you know, sell that as like a new version or something, like Flight 1 has. Maybe with Betaflight on it and without the Flight 1 license. I'm not 100% sure, but this thing is like my baby. Like, I love it. It's just, it flies so good. Like, it really does. And the Beta FPV one here is fantastic too, if you are looking for a Betaflight build. And again, not to disparage or anything about FPV cycle. All of this stuff is great, but for some reason, these just fly better. And maybe somebody will say, oh, you're not a good builder or whatever. I mean, people can say what they want to say, but nobody's paying me anything. I'm just trying to tell the truth and everything here. I think that if you just don't want to deal with anything, buy that one. If you want to wait and get the best and spend your money one time, go with this one. I am going to be flashing Falco X on this though, so we'll see if it is a Betaflight thing or if it is a build or a tuning or something thing. Who knows? It might be. This has the Mamba flight controller on it. Maybe my Betaflight stuff just is way off somewhere, even though I've spent 30 to 40 packs and playing with different filters and this, and it's not as locked in. It still has like some bobbles and stuff like that going on. We'll see what happens. I have my licenses in. I just basically need to flash and set this up and it'll be all ready to go. Falco X makes it super simple, so I should be up and running with that literally in like 10 to 15 minutes. The only thing I'll need to do is rewire the Crossfire, because Crossfire wires up a little bit differently on Flight 1 than it does on Betaflight, and that's it. So I just have to switch around a couple wires. One other thing, you see this little USB extension here? Hopefully people are still with me. That I got off of Banggood, but I looked on eBay, and eBay has one here too. They're $3 and $1 shipping. They come from China, so you might want to order a few of them in case you break them. Now, this was really helpful when I got these whenever I first got my Cinewhoops going on, because you just couldn't get inside there at all to do anything. And they're very handy for that, and of course, they're really handy for the whoops, because that way you don't kind of have to jam your USB wire into there and cause problems and all that kind of stuff. And it's pretty much that way on all of these builds. It would definitely help out with the beta and this, and it definitely with the Flight 1 as well. I think the only one that you wouldn't have problems with is the Baby Tooth, because the way that I have mine built from my live stream on my channel is with the actual adapter facing up. So there's no problem with that in that orientation. So that is it, guys. That's like my wholehearted recommendations. Trying to be as respectful and honest to people as I can. You know, we don't want to waste our money on all this stuff and over and over and over. You're not going to be disappointed with any of this stuff. It really just comes down to how much work you want to put into it and everything else like that. So let me know what you think. Am I wrong? Am I right? Whatever. There's going to be more reviews and more fun with all this stuff. Different firmwares. Like I said, all the stuff scrolling across the top and everything. We'll see what's going on tomorrow or the next day. So thanks, guys, and we will talk to you later.